Okay, I'm going to start on the shell here, the school bus. Going to start working on that. Wanted to show you kind of how I have to deal with this. I've got my wiring harnesses kind of massaged into place. I don't want to get them all screwed up. So this is the yellow lights. Got them labeled left and right, and that's that. And then the tail lights got the front and the rears. So it's pretty obvious how they have to go, but I still wanted to avoid changing the shape of the wires as much as possible. So I'm just going to leave them laying like that on the bench. Then I'm going to take out all these bezels, obviously bag all the hardware. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sanding just the outsides of the bezels to get the chrome off of them. I'm going to leave the chrome on the inside because that helps with the light dispersion. And I'm going to peel off this blue film. I'm going to mask off everything with the edge lock. Now I'm going to use my X-Acto, trim them all out around each window. Then I'm going to scuff it down with a Scotch-Brite and get it. I have a special Scotch-Brite that's between coat Scotch-Brites, the gray ones. I think that'll work. Get some tooth, get some adhesion. I think that'll conform better than sandpaper. You see there's lots of lumps and bumps and ridges, and I think if I was to try and use sandpaper, I'd end up missing a whole lot of areas. So I'm going to be using that Scotch-Brite instead. Yeah, I find paint work extremely tedious. It's all prep. And the better your prep, the better your paint. You can't rush anything. So these are deposited metal coatings. This chrome, it's not paint or anything. It's literally copper with a little chromium over top of it. So you got to sand that all off, and that'll make some nice tooth for the paint. And then I got to mask off the insides of these. Yay. And mask off the threads so they don't get loaded up with paint. And then just paint the black part. That'll be way fun. I want to show you one more step I had to take before I got to the masking part of this. The shell is all different thicknesses. I guess these are cast. Like this area up here is super, super thick. This area right here is pretty thin. This is a little bit thicker. Anyway, so right in the area, this isn't too bad. This is pretty thick on this side. But what I wanted to do was right where it makes contact with the body post, I wanted to reinforce it. Because I noticed on mine, whenever I took a tumble or whatever, it does make like a little ripple mark or a little dent mark around the body post. And I'm going to put a rubber washer in between the body and that too. But just to give it a little more strength, I use some. This is Weldon 16. It's a solvent cement. It dries hard like acrylic. You can like build up, almost like body filler for plastic. So you wouldn't want to use Bondo or something like that on this. It wouldn't work at all. But you can put Weldon 16, and if, like, let's say if you wanted to fill that hole, all you'd have to do is back it up, and then you could put a dab of Weldon 16 on there, and you could fill that hole right up. Which I actually have to do because I am not perfect, and I screwed up when I was first mounting this thing. I got my holes off just a little bit. I had to drill another set of holes, which really sucks because obviously this is a part of the body that needs to be very strong in support. So by putting this backup washer on here with the Weldon 16, now it's perfectly fused to this. Now it's double thickness. And then the hole that I don't want, I think if you see, I've filled it with the Weldon 16 and it's flush with the body. It's slightly proud. I'm going to sand it down. But it's flush with the body so it won't show up under. I'm going to put multiple layers of paint and Hydro Dip and clear coat. So there's going to be a lot of material over top all this. You'll never see it. And then with the screw and the rubber washer, it's really not going to be seen. But I didn't want to just cover it with a rubber washer and have a hole in my client's body. I just thought that would suck. Now, because the body post had to go through the door windows on the school bus shell, I'm going to black out the bottom windows because it just would look weird. You know, if they have a post going through a window, I think it just look weird. So the two bottom doors, I'm just going to go ahead and paint them out. I'll leave the top ones clear though, so it looks cool. And so none of this will matter. This will all get knocked down, sanded, primed, painted, hydro-dipped, painted. So when we're all done, all you're going to see is the two body holes, and it's going to be reinforced and a little bit stronger. So I wanted to show you that. That's just how I am. I don't try to hide anything I do, man. I want you guys to see every little step of it. But this is some good stuff. You can get this different places, wherever, plastic supply shops, whatever. But it dries really fast. It's a pain in the ass to use. Oh my God, because like a little web of glue will come off of it, and if that web of glue touches something that you don't want, that's really too bad. Because here, I can show you, there's like a little web of glue right there. Get it in the light where you can see it. See that little tiny hair there? Well, guess what? That hair is fused to the plastic. It's there permanently. I could knock that down if that bothered me or whatever. It's not a big deal. But I just want to let you know, it is a pain in the butt to use. They make special little micro applicator tips you can put on the end of your glue bottle. And if I had any of those left, I probably would have used them. But basically, I just cut out some scrap material from my wheel well cuts, okay? Because I want to also show you something, because the reason I think this is cast is because this is what the scrap material looks like from, you know, the flange. I saved this just in case I needed to use it. But look at how crazy that is. It's all different thicknesses and lumpy and bumpy. So this looks to me like they injection mold this or something. They pour the Lexan into it and into the mold or something like that, because there's no way. Because this is all nice and relatively, I mean, it's all different thicknesses. It's real thick here, it's real thin here, but it's relatively flat. So that's why I used my cutout materials. I made a couple little washers, and I glued them in place to weld on, sanded up real nice so they'd stick real good, and they're on there like forever.